Union Gallery is a student-centered public contemporary art gallery at Queen's University. Opening on October 29th is Métis artist Carleigh Milburn's new exhibition, Making Sense of Decolonization through Artificial Intelligence, Digital, Conventional Art Creations. Carleigh joins me now to tell us more about it. Hi, Carleigh, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about you and then tell us about your project.
I am a PhD candidate at Queen's University, Kingston, Ontario. I'm in my final year of my program. I am a Métis artist and scholar, as well as I specialize and investigate how we can utilize different technologies as well as art making practices to better understand what decolonization can look like. And so sometimes when we think about decolonization, it can be a very intimidating word. Essentially what it means is to make sense or restore Indigenous rights and essentially dismantle colonial ways of understanding and thinking. Whereas this project is more about nurturing relationships, it's about building peaceful relations amongst Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. And the way we go about that is by incorporating collaborative art making practices.
How does that come about? How can you have artwork and then have what your purpose is?
So basically this exhibition in itself is in its final iteration, so it'll be at Union Gallery. It has already been at Kingston School of Art, Modern Fuel, the Center for Creativity and Learning. And so essentially those art community organizations have created a sense of making sense of different spaces and places within Kingston to better understand how can we then incorporate that collaborative art making process and what does that look like. And so those spaces essentially create for 4 directions, which is very deeply related to Indigenous ways of knowing and understanding. In that realm, we think about what the physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental health of what art can produce and what art can enact. And so essentially from that holistic way of understanding, people come into the exhibition, they interact with the art, they can sign up for workshops to incorporate art themselves through digital components, they can look at the art, interact with the art, and so it's all about this understanding of putting yourself or creating an extension of yourself through this ideology of art making or art seeing or the creation of art in itself.
Let's talk about the workshops. There are 3 going on. I noticed during that schedule you are creating those relationships while talking about what you want to accomplish.
Yeah, for sure. So to give context, I am an Ontario Ministry of Education teacher. I teach visual art, I teach First Nation, Métis, and Inuit studies, I teach geography and history. And so with that, I wanted to create a workshop that allows individuals who may know nothing about Canada's history, Indigenous people, what the term means, to provide a space in which they could ask those really important questions. We have a lot of things in the news that I imagine a lot of people don't understand, and I think that's because of, colonization or the act of not understanding that history. And so people come to the workshop. It's an open, inclusive space for every single person who is above the age of 16. They learn about smudging, they learn about Canada's history, they learn about Indigenous artists and the peaceful relations that are offered through Indigenous artwork. People learn about the project and what it means to me, but also what it could mean to others. We go through a process of understanding what a smudge is. We actually get to do a smudge. So the people coming are essentially being immersed in Indigenous ways of knowing and understanding, getting a new perspective for a history that they already have learned about, but perhaps just a different point of view. And then we actually get into the nitty-gritty of how can we create art together for the purpose of this exhibition. So the first half is the learning, the second half is the art making. Everyone gets an iPad provided by me, also an Apple Pencil. So if you're somebody who is really interested in that digital art component, or who has never learned about how to draw on iPads, this is also a great workshop for beginners. Again, this workshop is tailored for beginners of like whether it's digital art or history or whatnot. They're provided that iPad, we talk, we have conversation, we share in circle, and we think about what decolonization looks like based on the information that I provide. And then individuals get to depict their own imagery of what that looks like. When an individual is happy with their creation, it's then uploaded into a virtual art gallery, so then everybody has access to view all the work that has been created in corresponding with those workshops. And then that virtual reality gallery is also in the physical art gallery. So when you come to the physical gallery, you can see what people in the workshop have created. And it's really amazing to see. A lot of people have different depictions of what decolonization looks like, but as well as they have the opportunity to be in a physical art gallery, which is very cool.
And this is all free.
All free.
All free. You can find a lot of the same information on the website if you don't know when to come, whereabouts to come. I want to ask you one more question before we say goodbye, and that is, does it work? You've had a couple of opportunities to see artwork and also see decolonization in the same space. Does it work?
It works. It works more than I thought it would have. And two, when you think about the people that are coming to the workshop, they create a survey, and then their survey data is anonymously uploaded into an artificial intelligence tool. And then that artificial intelligence, through human brainstorming, will also depict what decolonization looks like through an artificial intelligence image. And so it's very cool also that participants get to look at the AI image and then also compare their image what they've solely created. And they're very similar. It's all about going back to nature, learning about holistic ways of knowing and understanding, taking care of ourselves, and taking care of each other. And so it absolutely works.
Carleigh, thank you for joining us this morning and telling us about this exciting, innovative way of dealing with so many issues we have today.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Miigwech.